Good morning and welcome to the weather now. Time now 11:01, about to be 11:02. Thank you for joining us and wishing you a wonderful Friday Eve morning. Outside weather-wise, Safe Touch Security First Alert Live Radar. We are pretty quiet out there, not tracking much in the way of shower activity. The only little downpour we're tracking on radar is well offshore, not in the coastal empire, the low country. We've had these scattered showers and thunderstorms offshore all morning. We even had a little bit of lightning here looking offshore from the islands early this morning before sunrise, and we're still seeing a little bit of activity. But doesn't mean we're going to remain dry all day. I do think today's rain may be a little more isolated, a little bit more spotty, more hit or miss than what we had the past couple of days, though yesterday was pretty spotty as well. So now that we've established that it's pretty decent right now, I want to take you outside, kind of getting a lay of the land. WTOC Beaufort Memorial Skycam. You can see across the bridge there, the Woods Memorial Bridge. It is mostly sunny. A couple of clouds bubbling up there in the distance, but not too much growth on the clouds that we are seeing out there. And what I mean by growth is the height. They're not that tall yet. They're not thunderstorm clouds, so we're not seeing any rain or anything yet. But as we go through the afternoon, we will see the clouds grow taller and eventually showers, thunderstorms do develop. Before we get to that, and the Hurricane Center should have just put out their update, so I'm going to check back in with them, go to their website, nationalhurricanecenter.org or www.nhc.org. Not looking like we are seeing too many changes out there. Yeah, really nothing's changed with the 11 o'clock update, so I'm going to bring you back down here to the tropical section of my little weather workspace over here. First, we're going to talk about subtropical storm Ernesto. Sustained winds now a little bit stronger, 45 miles per hour, but never reached that 50 mile per hour peak intensity. And you know what? Not forecast to either. Peak intensity, we're basically there now. Pressure, pretty much a level, dropped a little bit from this morning, but accelerating off to the north and to the east. That will put it over cooler waters here later today into tomorrow, likely tomorrow losing its subtropical status, becoming an extratropical storm system, bringing inclement weather to the UK, Western Europe, but not as a subtropical system, not as a tropical system, because it's going to be moving into cooler waters. It's going to weaken, become more disorganized. What is new today, or really as of last night, this tropical wave, we mentioned it yesterday. We talked about how it probably wouldn't develop, and still chances are very low, very disorganized, and it's moving very rapidly. When these things move quickly, that only increases wind shear a little bit, kind of in a local sense, and it kind of races. It can't really dwell over a certain area and repeatedly fire showers, thunderstorms in a singular location to drop pressure. So it's kind of complicated there, but one of many factors that we look at when trying to see if a tropical wave is quote-unquote healthy or not. And I would say this one is not that healthy. I know I'm standing in front of it now, but I'm going to circle it for you. And you can see we do have some tall white thunderstorm clouds, kind of away from the center, not that organized. Although we do have some new thunderstorms forming, the bright whites there closer to the area of lowest pressure. This is moving off to the west-northwest. If you look at spaghetti models, they're readily available online, but be very, very careful this time of year when doing that, because we have no well-defined center of circulation, and until we do, the spaghetti models are almost useless. But in general, they have the right idea, carrying this off to the west and west-northwest, perhaps approaching the Gulf of Honduras, the Yucatan here in several days as a tropical wave, maybe a weak tropical system. And on that note, there is a low risk of tropical development here, a 20% chance that this becomes a tropical system within the next 5 days, and it's only going to be entering the Caribbean within the next 3 to 4 days. It's going to take a while to get any further west than that. And to be honest, a lot of the computer models, the forecast models that we look at, computers that crunch the numbers, spit out equations that are then translated into a forecast, the maps we show you, if you will, on TV, a lot of those are not too excited about this. They really don't do that much with it. Now, with that said, never turn your back on a tropical wave in August in this region over pretty warm ocean water. So that's what we're watching this morning in the tropics. That is about it. I'm pulling up the Facebook thread right now. If you're watching on Roku, Amazon Fire, YouTube, news app, weather app, all you have to do is navigate over to @WTOC TV on Facebook or WTOC11 on Twitter. Ask your questions, and I'll be answering those right here. Good morning, Vivinell up in Statesboro. Thank you for watching. Glenda Webben, right back at you. Deneen, thank you. Paula says it's a wonderful morning. I happen to think so as well. Pretty decent out there. Good morning, Cindy. Hey, Larissa. Hey, Arnita, Crystal, Anna. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, Tina. So that covers the tropics. And now we're going to go back, kind of shifting gears back to today's forecast. Again, not that much in the way of change in the forecast. We were dry this morning. Going through the day, though, we will see a little more heat added to the atmosphere. The energy builds up, and the conditions are favorable for a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Here we are at 11 a.m. We're dry. Coastal Empire, low country, no issues. As we go forward through the afternoon, notice by 1:32, we're hotter by that point, mind you, approaching 90 or so. And we're starting to see a couple of showers and thunderstorms pop up, but still, relatively quiet by 2. Not a soaker of an afternoon. But a little bit later, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, sure enough, we see a little more activity. And the only really consistent signal, not just with this computer model, but with several today, is there will be 2 areas that have a somewhat heightened rain chance today. That'll be south of the Altamaha River, Pierce, Brantley counties, over to Camden, Glenn counties, maybe McIntosh County. Another one here, Burt County, Candler, Jenkins County, Scriven County, Emmanuel County, extending back the north of I-16 up to about I-75, or I-20, I should say, about as far west as I-75. Now, in between, the majority of the coastal empire, the low country, isolated to widely scattered stuff. So as we go deeper into the afternoon, notice how rain, sure, it pops up. Still a few showers, thunder showers ongoing, 7:30 inland. This particular forecast model keeps Savannah Metro dry, and it's all diminishing this evening after sunset because the same heat, energy buildup that allowed the clouds to grow and storms to form kind of gets zapped as soon as we see the sunset and temperatures begin to cool. So you saw it right here, and this is actually one of the wetter forecast models that I just showed you. Others are even drier. I think coverage of rain today is going to be isolated to widely scattered. A.J. Johnson, will it hit the U.S.? There is absolutely no way to say at this time, but right now any direct impact to the United States appears unlikely from that particular tropical wave. Of course, we're watching it. Absolutely nothing to worry about at this time, but something to pay attention of, and we make sure that that information is always readily available for you, whether that be at WTOC.com on the Hurricane Center tab or in the interactive menu in the WTOC weather app. 10 minutes past the top of every hour, the news at daybreak. Also tropical updates if there were things going on in the evening newscast and at noon. So a lot of places here, also social media. Larissa wants to know, can we expect a cool down anytime soon? Larissa, it's August. It's going to take a while. No significant cool down. Maybe slightly cooler and drier middle of next week. We'll be watching out for that. But I wouldn't count any hens before they hatch, or whatever the saying is. Count your eggs before they hatch. There we go. And not expecting any significant cool down here until maybe we get closer into fall. Sharifa says, great, overcast out here in Coffee Bluff. Thanks for the updates. You're very welcome, and it is a little gray downtown as well. Let me pull up satellite because we do have a lot of sunshine out there, but we have a little bit of cloud cover moving overhead right now. So zooming down in this particular satellite view, I'm going to change up some of the data here, and we'll get a better idea as to what's going on. And we're going to change the contour here as well. So let's go back a few hours. We can see clouds, and they kind of develop overhead. So, it is a little cloudier here. We're taking a look at Beaufort Memorial Sky Cam. Sure enough, they're seeing a little more sunshine, but there are more clouds around. We're still going partly cloudy this afternoon. We kind of had a similar pattern yesterday, clouds mid-morning to early afternoon. Then they kind of cleared out. We had a little bit of heating, showers, thunderstorms developing. So, we'll have to keep an eye on it. Stromae, Vedra, pollen high right now. It's actually not high, but we have cynopods, we have grasses. Those two probably causing some issues. I know I'm being impacted, other people complaining, and I think it's called the cynopods. It's just a style of plant or a variety of plant or weed, really. It's not like an animal. It sounds like an alien, but it's not. It's just a type of weed and an allergen. Of course, some people are more sensitive to than others, but levels are actually not that high. Steve says, yeah, it's back. Stromae, me too as well. Terry says, hope it holds off until after 2. Have to go in town in just a bit. Thank you, Terry, for watching. Have a great day yourself. If you're having to go to town in just a little bit, I think you're pretty much golden. The rain chance is pretty low through noon, 1 o'clock, and then they're going to start increasing. But for the time being, at least a decent chunk of your time is going to be dry, and the greatest chance does actually hold off until after 2. You may encounter a shower closer to that time, but most likely after 2 p.m. You're very welcome, Carolyn. Again, time now is 11:11. Chief Meteorologist Dave Turley is in the Weather Center. Going to be fine-tuning that forecast today, Thursday. I'm already thinking about the weekend. I know some of you are probably right now. We're going to be updating that extended forecast. More scattered rain on the way. Just a heads up for you, but not a washout of a weekend. Dave Charlie will walk you in detail coming up here in less than 50 minutes right here on WTOC TV. You can catch the newscast not just on a TV, but also WTOC.com, Roku, Amazon Fire, and you can stream it in the WTOC News app. Go out, have yourself an awesome Thursday afternoon.